They say love is blind, but in the world of celebrities, love is often a power move. Have you ever noticed how some of the most beautiful, talented R&B singers and entertainers end up with a man who is not the best looking fella? Okay, as my mama used to say.
Well, the little guy, he was kind of funny looking.
In what way?
I don't know, just funny looking.
But they end up with these beautiful women like Whitney Houston, Bobby Brown, Alicia Keys, Swiss Beats, Cardi B, and Offset, and Beyonce and Jay-Z. You think it's a coincidence that these people ended up together? Is there something else behind all this? Me and Darnisha's gonna get into this in this video. And when I get to Beyonce and Jay-Z, I'm gonna save them for last. You know why I'm gonna save it for last? I'm not a fan of Jay-Z, and I might say something crazy. All right, folks, welcome to the channel. And on this channel, on Fridays, we talk pop culture, entertainment, and relationships with Darnisha. And then on Saturdays, I talk sports with Coach Henry. So come check us out. Click, subscribe, and hit that notification button so you can get all the information. How you doing, Darnisha?
Hey,
What's going on?
Cy, I'm good. I'm good. It's Friday. Dun, dun, dun.
You know it, and we're gonna talk that talk. You know what I mean?
Be about that walk.
Okay, you
Like
ready
Serena
for it too?
was.
So I want people to understand this, Darnisha, when it comes to what we're getting ready to talk about.
What is that, Cy? What is that? Do tell. What do we have?
I do not like to get into people's personal business. I don't get into these celebrities' relationship, but I feel, especially because of my oldest daughter, she's a big Rihanna fan, and she asked me questions like, why would she choose to be with a man and have his kids, a man that was reckless enough to nearly end up behind bars for many, many years? Because she's such a beautiful woman. And then I told her, because we had a conversation a while back too, when Whitney Houston was in the news, when she was going through all that. And rest in peace to Whitney Houston. Down to earth
Yes.
woman. This is no shade towards anybody, but we feel this needs to be talked about. We all trying to figure out how come a lot of these celebrities, these are some beautiful women, and they ended up with, I don't get into how men look, right? But they get with guys, you sitting there going, why? That's what my mama used to say when Bobby Brown got with Whitney Houston. My mother was like, why? What you think, Darnisha?
Well, as your grandmother or mother might say, we don't choose the ones we love, baby. But I think that it's a power move. I think it has to be a power move. It has to be an entertainment move. It is a move that makes money and not makes sense.
So a lot of times, a lot of people think these celebrities is making decisions on their own, even when it comes to love. I don't know if a lot of people remember this. Back in 1989, Whitney Houston got booed at the Soul Train Awards, and they booed her because some people felt she wasn't black enough, which is ridiculous because there is no blackness meter. She was simply marketed and presented to appeal to a broader mainstream audience.
7 consecutive number ones, a record that has never been broken. And yet, simultaneously, she was booed at the Soul Train Awards for sounding too white.
Friction at the Soul Train Awards. Where does that come from? For those of you who don't know,
they boo me at Soul Train Awards. I don't really know what it's about, but I think that I've got a lot of flack, about I sing too white, or I sing white or something like that, I don't either, but I do sing the way God intended for me to sing, and I'm using what he gave me, and I'm using it to the best of my ability.
We booed her, right? We did. The chosen elective black folks.
You did, I
her.
didn't.
We booed her. But also, Whitney came from Cece, from her mother. And not only that, the way that Whitney Houston came along, she was born and brought up in the church, right? So she was going to be poised. She was going to show up. She was going to talk, unlike other people who might be in that industry. And even in her interview that she did with Arsenio Hall, she said, hey, I'm not here for the people. I'm here the way in which God is using me. We might have thought it was proper. We might have thought she was white. We might have thought she was, uppity, but she was simply talking and demanding that authority and that presence when she came in the room and when she spoke. She knew what she wanted. She knew what she didn't want. Now, I don't know why she got with Bobby Brown, because her whole demeanor and everything changed.
Well, one of the main reasons why we doing this video is because I feel she got with him because, like I said, her management wanted her to have crossover
Right.
appeal. Then when she
Yes.
got booed, she needed to get her, as they say, that black cred back. Because
That
what
black
happened with
card.
Bobby Brown, yeah, because she was sitting in the stands the same year Bobby Brown did the Soul Train Awards. He got cheered, man. He got cheered like it was, boy, you thought, Bobby Brown was big back in
Yes.
1989, 90. That Don't Be Cruel album. Oh my
Yes.
God, it was
My
so big.
prerogative. Yes.
Play of the year. Play of the year. Macaroni to the bone.
And they said I was crazy, huh?
Make your thing, that's cool, man.
I believe her management team seen that and they said, we need to do something about Whitney Houston's image with the black people.
But like you said, Clyde probably looked around and said, hey, wait a minute. Just last year, you were getting booed off, right? The people that were in the crowd looking just like you being up there.
Right. And that's what I was trying to explain to my daughter, my oldest daughter. And she married now, but she used to really look up to celebrities. And I was saying, you can't trust who these celebrities date. They come together for power moves sometimes. They come together because their PR team told them to get together. Now, I'm not saying these people don't fall in love. I'm not saying that, because many times they'll have kids together. So I'm not saying that. But you can't trust it. You cannot trust these celebrity relationships because you don't know why the decision was made. And like you said, Clyde Davis was a powerful dude. And he's seen how she got treated at the Soul Train Awards, and we
Yes.
have to get behind this. So behind the scenes, her management, her agents, all them people, they start shaping the narrative. A lot of times, those are the people who shape the narratives for these singers and these entertainers. And I'm not saying they don't have personal control over their lives, but often their management teams, whose livelihood depends on how much money the celebrity brings in, they'll do anything to maximize those dollars. Since they get a percentage, the more money that is made, the more money they earn. It's almost similar like these rappers. Like these gangster rappers sometimes, they don't have enough street cred and then they'll go and get in trouble. A lot of times, sometimes that stuff is set up by their management team to give them street cred. For example, you had mentioned Clyde Davis earlier. Clyde Davis had another person in his mix, Alicia Keys.
Yes. And
Talented,
Swiss Beats. Yes.
beautiful, well-respected. But I think back in 2008, she made a comment about hip hop, which I totally agree with her. She said gangster rap was a tool created by the government to encourage black violence, to undermine black communities, and I agree with her 100%. She suggested that the industry promoted gangster rap to suppress hip hop.
And I believe, like you said, that the punishment came thereafter for her spilling that knowledge. Because if you look back at Alicia Keys, she was quite pivotal. I mean, I shouldn't say quite pivotal. She was very prevalent in the black community for standing up, just like her song, like Ike and Tina, the way she flowed with that, that song and what have you. The way she brought her lyrics together was for the empowerment of black people, right? Not to disdain them, not to, be calling them B's and H's and everything else, or in the N word, right? She was there to uplift them. But they took that away very, very quickly when she made that statement.
Yeah, because now she was basically saying they took away the consciousness of hip hop, the positiveness, which is so true. She was telling the truth, but it got a lot of people in hip hop mad. She took a lot of backlash, especially from a very powerful man, 50 Cent. He was down her throat. He was criticizing her. And so in the case of Alicia Keys, after she said that, all of a sudden, she ended up with Swiss Beats, a a powerful man in hip hop, right? He come from a powerful hip hop family. Now you think Clyde didn't say, "Hey, we got to clean up your act because you're taking a lot of heat for those comments you made within hip hop." Because probably a lot of artists was like saying, "Well, I'm not gonna do a song with her," and they had to clean that up. And Swiss Beats, I do believe, might have been married at the time.
Yes, I didn't want to go there with that. Yeah. we gonna keep it clean side, but yes, yes. And that again, like I said, was the narrative and the fallout. Again, what's behind all of this? It is the man pushing what a narrative that it's okay for African American women to go and steal someone's husband, no matter what they look like. Again, it's a power move, but yet it's really a back seat that we're taking, just like the roles in which, Denzel takes as a drug dealer and gets a Grammy. Holly Berry gets a Grammy for laying on her back and being, assaulted by a Caucasian man. He
Dang.
couldn't get it for Glory. I mean, she couldn't get
Okay.
it for,
Or
for
Malcolm.
the Catwoman or what have you. I'm just saying,
Okay.
it's the positive light. It's the narrative. And that is what we have to be mindful of. Stars or no stars, everyday folks and people. It is the narrative that people are trying to push.
And another person, Cardi B. Cardi B
Oh,
came on the scene raw and unfiltered. But in 2016, there was an old clip that resurfaced where she admitted drugging and robbing men.
To motherfucking survive, like, I had to go straight. I had to go, oh yeah, you wanna fuck me? Yeah, let's go to this hotel. And I drop niggas up and I rob them. That's what I used to do. Nothing was motherfucking handed to me, my nigga. Nothing.
Man, she took a lot of backlash for that, especially from men. Her reputation was on the line.
yes.
I mean,
yes.
men were saying, what about the double standard? Because we know there are a lot of men in prison right now for drugging people. And how this woman just gonna be able to say that and nothing happened to her? Now, if I was one of those men, I'm gonna tell you what I would have did. Because all these women came and after some of our celebrities or whatever, right? How come no men came after her to get some of her money?
Yes, exactly. The narrative. Again, here we go with the narrative. Because again, at the end of the day, we need what? We need followers. We need people. We need something edgy. So we're going to create, right, this narrative. So I mean, hey, did she really drug people? You got to ask, right? No one really came forward. I mean, right? And think about it.
Well,
Think about it this way, Cy. That is just
maybe
the
they was married
first.
men and they shouldn't have been at the trip.
What?
Maybe those
No,
men was
come on
married.
now. Come on now. Wait, I'm gonna spin it back around to your comment earlier. The Bill Cosby 60 years later, and the pudding money ran out.
And she's in a male-dominated industry too. But all of a sudden, 6 months later, maybe a year later, she ends up with Offset, one of the biggest rappers in the world right there. He was from the group The Migos, and they were big at the time. Okay.
Yes.
Was this a calculated move to prepare her career, her image, to keep her relevant? You know what I'm saying? Was it a form of protection? Was her getting with him a form of protection? Because you know what she was also doing? This woman, y'all know how I feel about gangbangers, right? I'm a thug. I'm a thug. I'm a thug. I'm a gangster. I'm a gangster. I'm a baddie. I'm a baddie. Let me stop. All this dumb stuff pushed on our family. This woman was a woman. I had never seen this before. Let me come back up here. A woman was out here promoting gang culture in her music, wearing red. I was sitting there going, because the dudes have been doing it, and now all this, and she's not even from California.
No. Again, the narrative. We're gonna put you out there. We're gonna put you in it, right? The narrative.
That's the most craziest thing. You are an artist. I don't care where you grew up. I grew up in the projects. I lived in the GOAs. Okay, you know what GOAs is, people? Where I'm from, we call them the GOAs, the government-owned apartments. That's what we call them, the GOAs. Y'all call them the projects.
It's a GOA.
Yeah. We always put the blame back on the people who create some of the nonsense, okay? The GOAs. But I grew up in the GOAs. How are you going to make it out of a bad situation, become rich and famous, only to promote something that destroys communities? There are certain rappers.
They created. That's the narrative.
Okay. So anyway, back now to the last couple we're going to talk about. And I say them for last because, you know what? I'm going to try to be cool here. I'm going to try to be cool.
I'm not.
Beyonce.
I'm not. Them lips come before everything. Oh.
Hey, Beyonce came on the scene. Okay, we all know she came on the scene. Most of her songs, now a lot of women probably don't feel this way. I know you guys feel like, some of these women feel like it was empowering, it was promoting independency, but it was a lot of male bashing going on. Play my bills, pay my bills, bugaboo. Come on,
Yes,
irreplaceable.
yes.
Huh?
I don't need you. Right. And again, here
Yeah.
we go with the narrative of Black women, that I'm strong without a Black man. Right.
Okay.
Yes. And then there's a 12-year gap between them. I'm not saying anything's wrong with, someone younger or older, but I mean, she was only 19 when to his 31.
Damn.
19.
Okay.
She barely was legal.
Damn.
So
well, they've been together.
What do you know about paying a bill at 19 or even having a man do that? You have to think also, Beyonce didn't come from that hood or that type of lifestyle. She was in a 2-parent home, right? Her mother and father.
I know. Ain't that crazy?
Right? She didn't come from any of that. But I could see why she does Blue Ivy the way that she does at 12 years of age. Hell, at 19, you were pimped out. I'm sorry.
Damn.
You ain't
by her
no
own
TV,
daddy.
but I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm
By her
sorry.
own daddy. But you know what? Probably, maybe a lot of the music she was pushing out there, maybe had a lot to do with she knew her daddy wasn't treating the mama right. Because, we heard about the daddy later on. And like I said, we don't like to get into all this, but when you're used as a pawn to help promote gender wars in the community, on either side, we can't give you a pass. These celebrities are there just to entertain us. That's all they're there for.
Our only hero and superstar should be God. Not, you know what I mean? No. You're going to be with her and him 6 feet down.
Okay. And so anyway, she was taking a lot of backlash from men. And so her people was like, man, we got to clean this up. We got to get you another image. This is how I'm thinking. Now, I don't have any proof of all this, but then all of a sudden, she married a camel. Okay, and it all went away.
It all went away. And wait,
she married that donkey.
Wait, and I'm sorry to say it like this. You line that up with the slave trade, right? All you did was marry your daughter off to the mister who's in the big house. Because at 19, come on now.
That's why we sitting here questioning it. That's a good example, because that's why we question it, because was it love or was these business decisions? Because we know Jay-Z is all about his business.
This was business, because he had everybody else on the payroll. Why not add one more notch? Right?
Okay. And that's the thing about it. A lot of times these people are coming together just to build brands up. It's not, it don't even have anything. That's why, for example, this man, like you said, he married a young woman, then allegedly had some extramarital situations, right? His sister-in-law duked him up in the elevator and stuff like that, right? You remember that, right?
I guess she said, "Hey, I'm not Beyonce, okay? Because I'm gonna come for you and cut you, right?"
Okay, but my point of it is, she's older. She's in the public eye. She didn't leave that man, though. She didn't leave that man.
She didn't.
She didn't leave that. Huh?
She did not. She did not. But
now, what?
one might ask if it's really her.
That's my point. That's the point of this video. Did she stay out of love or to keep her marriage together, or was it just a good business decision?
A business decision.
Okay, as he said, he's not a businessman. I'm a businessman, huh?
And I'm a businessman. This is what we about, taking care of business.